Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Website on this side here, schifferbooks.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you want that. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website rockpoolpublishing.com.au. Okay? Okay. Cool? Cool. Alright, what do we have for Taurus? The first two, I did Virgo and Capricorn. They had a very, like, strong energy pushing forward. Your energy is a little bit like, it's almost like, what's going on here type thing. It's a little bit of a confusion energy. Let's see if the cards back that up, because there is some type of confusion, like, what am I supposed to do now? I keep getting this confusion, like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, what am I supposed to do now? Which Taurus, I think of Taurus as having plans. Having like, okay, this is where this is going to go, so because that happened, I will do this, or it'll be over in this area. Like, you know, for example, I have to go pick up my mother, and she lives over in the Northwest. So, since I'm going to the Northwest anyway, I'm going to also do these other couple things because they're on the way and I can get them off my list. I'm going to put time in, and I'm going to set up a schedule for myself. I'm going to leave at this time so I can do that, then pick her up and do what I need to do. Stuff like, that's what I see for Taurus. Like, when I have a lot to do, this is what needs to happen. Right now, I feel like what's going on is, like, I know I have to pick somebody up. I don't know where they're going to be. And because I don't know where they're going to be, I don't know what to plan. Like, I need to know where they're going to be, and I need to know what time I'm going to pick them up, and I don't have either of that, and it's really aggravating. Taurus likes to plan, but the thing is, there's not, I got this Ace of Wands, like, if somebody would just tell me what's going on, if somebody could give me more information or make plans themselves, I could stabilize my plans, I could stabilize my situation. Are you angry? I don't think you're angry, but it's like, you would like to have more structure in this situation. I feel like I'm doing a lot of waiting. Is there something else I need to say with this, or is this what I've already talked to? You got rewards in the past, you got the King of Pentacles in the past, you're going into the Queen of Pentacle energy. Don't get caught up in the gender, of course, but, like, you got the Wheel of Fortune, and you got the Ten of Fire, which is stress. With stress that leads to success is the Ten of Fire. That's the Ten of Wands. Okay, so how you've gone through this before isn't applicable here. I don't know why. I really don't know why. You've done this type of thing before. You've gone through this before, but it's like when I'm looking at the past, I'm like, well, how that played out before, I can't do that this time. I keep getting that. I feel like you're... Okay. I feel like what they're saying, because I keep seeing this energy like, I need to plan. I need to plan and I can't. I need to plan and I can't. I need to plan and I can't. I keep getting that rolling over and over and over again, and I don't think it's good for your mental health. I don't think, if that is happening, I don't think it's a helpful energy for you. The advice I'm getting, I personally, when I've had to deal with this, I use a notebook, like a physical, tangible notebook. If that's not for you, then that's not for you, but write down what you're worried you're going to possibly forget, and then step away and work towards something productive, which could be the simplest thing. So, for example, say I'm worried about, say I had to worry about picking up my mother. I didn't know where she was going to be or what time. Instead of fretting about it, because I feel like that takes up a lot of energy, I write it down. I have a whiteboard, so I probably will write it down there. Then I go do something simple, like I wash the dishes. Maybe there's dishes, or maybe say I want to clean out a cupboard. There's a cupboard I want to clean out. I just want to take stuff out. I want to clean out the cupboard, clean it down. Just say there's something like that. Something that you literally could walk away from. Would you be happy about walking away from it mid process? No, but you could. So I'm going to clean out. So I start taking things out of the cupboard. I'm putting them where they're going to go for now. I'm going to wash those things because they haven't been used in a while. And I'm going to wash out the cupboard. This is just something I'm going to do. This is something I want to get done. That way, if there's a call that happens in the middle of that and I have to go pick her up, okay, fine. I'm not happy about that stuff being half done, but it's not going to destroy my day. Also, by physically moving forward and getting this thing done, I'm technically getting something off my list. I'm not a Taurus, but I do have those traits for whatever reason. I do have some of them. That's the advice for this, to do little things that you just need off your list. Even if it's for example, maybe next week you're well, I have to get certain things, or I have to decide what we're going to eat for dinner. Just something easy. Just start working on that. Start deciding what you need to do. Start putting together the grocery list, that type of thing. Do some little task that you could stop halfway through. You wouldn't like to, but you could. But you'd still have the process started, so you would be farther ahead than you would. That's what they're saying to do while this is happening. Because otherwise, I feel like this is really starting to cause an issue. You might be surprised that it causes some discord in your life. I don't know where else it is, but I feel like I may get paralyzed and just things just keep building up and things just keep building up, and before I know it, I'm I just got overwhelmed by everything that needs to get done. So if we just do the little things and just keep moving forward with the little things and just work through it where we can. Also, I'm getting don't apologize for being late. Don't apologize for being late. If somebody isn't telling you when they're going to need you, or where you're going to have to get them, don't apologize if you're not there in 2 seconds. If you're late, be hey, I have a life to live too. I did the best I could. And you move towards it. Don't apologize for being late. Which might just be the very much this, when you see this person, just don't offer an apology. If you have to speak to it, but do not offer an apology. I feel like that's very important. Because if you're doing somebody else a favor, don't apologize to them for doing them a favor. Do not do that. You're setting yourself up for some type of negative cycle. Don't do that. If you're doing somebody a favor, don't apologize to them. That's all I'm saying. Take it with a grain of salt. Apply it however you feel necessary. Because you are helping somebody is what I'm getting. 5 of Cups reversed. The Tower card, half in, half out. Also make peace with this. I hope this isn't a PIA, pain in the ass. I hope this isn't annoying. How's that? This will not work out perfectly. This won't even work out close to perfectly. It's going to be they need to be picked up. You might be 2 hours late. Do not apologize for that. I keep getting do not apologize for that. But you will pick them up. They will get home, or they will get where they need to go. It will work out. It will not be anywhere near perfect. It will not. But you have pulled them, you have helped them. You've done what you could. For example, if you didn't go get them, who knows how that would have turned out. You know what I mean? You're not going to be happy with how it plays out. I keep getting that. Make peace with that if you can. Just realize it's just not going to go that way. You'll let go of it a lot quicker, especially if you're going into this situation. Just realize it's not going to go the way I want it to. We're just going to work through it, and by the end of the day, I'm just going to let go of it. Before you even go to pick this person up, before they even call you and tell you, oh, I need somebody to pick me up now, if you've already made peace with that, I'm not going to like how this works out. It's not going to work out well. It's just going to make the mark. It's going to be fast fail. It's going to pass. The outcome will pass, but it's not going to be anywhere near what I want it to be. By the end of the day, I'm just going to let it go. You'll make peace with it a lot quicker. Whatever this is, they're saying if you can go in that way, or if you can find, give yourself that leeway, kind of I'm not going to like how it works out. It will pass. It will pass. But it's kind of if you're learning a subject in school and you want that A+, but you get a C, if you keep, that C, and you can't go back and retake the test for whatever reason, it's kind of don't let it beat you up. You could learn what you can from it, But it's like, this is just one of those things. You're gonna have a C. You did pass. You're just not happy with how you passed. The more you drive yourself crazy over it, though, I just feel like that's not good for you either. The sooner you can let it go, the easier it's going to be for you. You can let this go. I feel like accepting, maybe not even addressing, but accepting. Other people had control of this situation, and they didn't give you the resources, information, time, whatever it was. They didn't give you the resources to do it well. And I feel like we need to address that, because if we're going to use the test analogy again, you wanted an A+, you ended up with a C. I know this is going to be a rotten way to bring this forward. Some people aren't going to like it, but this is the truth of life. Sometimes you have teachers, and they may have the credentials to teach, but they're not good teachers. I'm sorry, but it's just a reality. If you have a really bad teacher, you did everything they asked, you did their homework, maybe you did stellar, like they loved your homework, you got perfect grades on their homework. They told you everything they taught you, you remembered like that. You had no problem. Everything that they told you, you got it. But then you get back the test and it's a C. If you didn't get the resources or the learning that you needed, the instruction that you needed, you did the best you could with what you were given. So you did knock it out of the park for what you were given. Keep that in mind. You're human. You can only do with what you're given. That might help you get past this. Hopefully, maybe that's the point of this reading, to look back and realize that you did great with what you were given. You know what I mean? If you're given a loaf of bread and a packet of mayonnaise, and you're trying to make sandwiches, you might have ways for like people like here. I guess here everybody can have a piece of bread, eat that, have a couple pieces. People may not like it, but you're like, all I was given was a loaf of bread and a mayonnaise packet. That's all I had. You did the best you could. People ate. Their stomachs had sustenance. They ate. They may not have liked what they had. Maybe nobody ate the mayonnaise. Maybe somebody did. Whatever. But you did what you could with what you had. It passed. People got to eat. It was not what you wanted, but it still worked. But that's what you were given. A loaf of bread and a mayonnaise packet. Keep that in mind. Realize that's what you were given. Because if you really do that, I feel like if you look at the situation in that context, it'll help you like make peace with it. Kind of like, you know what? That's true. I wasn't given the resources to do what I needed to do here. And I looked for them. I asked for them. I tried to get them. It was not given to me. No matter what I did, I was stunted in that way. I'm not one for like pointing fingers, but I'd say if I can hit that fun, but and I'm not saying anybody needs to point fingers, but I feel like we need to just realize the way this worked out was not in your control, and I just don't feel like it's fair for you to blame you. I don't know if anybody else is, but it's not fair for you to blame you. Other people were struggling. Maybe it was out of other people's control to give you the resources you needed to make this more successful. Maybe that's why I'm saying I'm not looking to point fingers. I don't think we need to point fingers here. Because maybe whoever you were working with, they didn't have the ability or accessibility or whatever. They just couldn't give you those resources. Maybe it wasn't even in the forefront of their brain to try to give you those resources. Whatever it may be, I don't feel like it's time. I don't think it's productive to point fingers at this point. I just feel like if you see it for what it is, other people should be understanding of that. Other people should realize that you pulled together as much as you could for what you were given. I also see like the situation seems to move on quicker for other people than it does for you, because I feel like you might be beating yourself up about something that you really weren't given the resources to do correctly. If it matters, and it may, and it probably does to Taurus, just to be fair, I mean, this is a Taurus reading, you will have a chance to prove how things work out when you are given the proper resources. You will be very happy with that, and I feel like people will realize I feel like other people already do know. I feel like you have probably a reputation. I just feel like people probably already realize if you're given the proper resources, you go beyond, above and beyond. You make use of every little piece of that resource. It's just about you being at peace with you. So you will have a chance to come around again the next time something like this comes around. Resources will be different. Next time it comes around, it's kind of like, all right, we're going to have this moment. I'm going to want to make sandwiches for people. I'm not going to get the resources from this spot. So, for example, like you went through that teaching experience, you got that C. And you're like, I thought I was safe because I knocked it out of the park with that teacher, but they didn't give me the resources I needed. All right, I've already went through this once. I'll do that class and I will excel in that class, but I'm also going to look for other references, other people who have taken this course. Is there a way I can see like past tests, what type of questions are going to come in, this, that, and the other thing. You're going to do the due diligence to make sure that those resources, you find a different way to get those resources. Second time around is a much different situation. You will prove that like, yeah, you learned, and it wasn't your I feel like it wasn't your fault that this didn't work out the first time. You tried everything you could do. The second time around, you'd have a different way of handling things. You had time to think of like, all right, that teacher's not going to have enough. How, like, what other books can I read? How can I teach what's missing to myself so I can get that A+? How can I make this situation work to my benefit? You will be able to do that. I'm also getting like you'll get that, like you'll start looking and things will start showing up. This is kind of like the psychic conversations I'm getting from this. It's kind of like, I don't know where I'm going to find the information, but I will find it. And then all of a sudden somebody says, have you tried this book? What book? And they give you a book and they're like, this is what so-and-so used. Maybe you want to read that. And you find more resources that way. Things will come forward. Things will come forward when they need to. So you will make the point later. You will save face. I really don't think anybody's blaming you for anything. But I feel like if you're blaming yourself for something, there's first saying like, stop doing that if you can, please. And then later realize you will prove that you are great at this type of situation. You will prove that like when given the proper resources, you do knock it out of the park. So that will come around again in case that's something that really means something to you, which typically with Taurus it does. Typically, because like your reputation is everything. Kind of like, I feel like it's the same for all three earth signs. Your history proves who you are, and you're very diligent, you're very responsible, you make the best of things, and you work things to, like, you make the most out of what you have. Earth signs, in my opinion, are not very wasteful, typically, so you're going to prove that down the road, that, you are good for your word. Is there anything else with this? Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.